A lot of us know the feeling. You've been waiting for weeks, maybe even months, for that new episode of your favorite show. You've dodged social media, ignored group chats, and maybe even warned your family not to say a word. You're finally home, ready to watch, and then, bam, a headline, a post, a stray comment, and the biggest twist is ruined. That's exactly what happened to some very passionate fans of a certain time-traveling doctor. They've been on a journey with Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor, and like all good things, his time in the OUTRAGE had to come to an end. The season 15 finale was the big moment, but before many people had a chance to watch it, a news story went live with a pretty huge spoiler in the headline. Ncuti Gatwa regenerates into Billy Piper as he leaves Doctor Who. Now, if you're a fan of the show, you know that a regeneration isn't just a plot point, it's an event. It's a huge emotional moment that marks the end of one era and the beginning of another. So, as you can imagine, seeing that headline was a massive letdown for a lot of people. It took away that surprise, that shock, that emotional payoff. And the fans, being the dedicated community they are, didn't just stay quiet. They reached out to the BBC to voice their disappointment, and the BBC has since responded. They acknowledged that some people were unhappy and felt that the regeneration had been spoiled for them. In their statement, the BBC explained that the story was considered a legitimate entertainment news story in its own right, and that they would typically cover a story like this once the program had aired and the details were in the public domain. They also pointed out that the article had a spoiler alert. The original headline, they said, only mentioned Gatwa's departure, but it was later updated to include the return of Billy Piper, which, for many, was the part that crossed the line. The BBC also defended the right of their journalists to use their judgment on what to cover and how to report it, noting that they aim to make headlines as informative as possible. This brings up an interesting conversation. Where's the line between being informative and giving too much away? It's a tricky balance to strike, especially in the age of instant information and constant updates. But here's the most important part of their response. They heard you. The BBC stated that while every story is different, they have discussed your concerns on this occasion with senior editors, and we will be mindful of your views for future coverage. That's a huge deal. It shows that they're listening to the audience, the people who keep the show going and care about it so deeply. It's a recognition that spoilers are more than just a minor inconvenience. They can genuinely affect the viewing experience. The regeneration itself was a massive moment. It happened in the season finale, titled The Reality War, and saw Gatwa's Doctor change into Billy Piper. Piper herself has said how much she loves the show, and that coming back was an opportunity she couldn't pass up. "It's no secret how much I love this show," she said, "and I have always said I would love to return to the universe. To be given the opportunity to step back on that TARDIS one more time was just something I couldn't refuse. The return of such a beloved character is a big deal, and it's understandable why it would be a major news story." This moment also brings up another big question. What's next for the show? There's been no official word on a season 16, and showrunner Russell T Davies has been clear that a decision won't be made until after season 2. He's even had to tell people who work on the show that there are no secret meetings happening. It's a reminder that even for a show as iconic as this one, the future isn't always set in stone. So, where does this leave us? On one hand, you have the world of journalism, which wants to report on newsworthy events as they happen. On the other, you have the world of fandom, which wants to experience stories as they were intended. The BBC's response is a small step, but it shows a willingness to consider the fan experience. It's a reminder that in this fast-paced digital world, a little bit of consideration can go a long way. Maybe, just maybe, it will lead to a future where we can all enjoy our favorite shows without worrying about a stray headline ruining the magic. You've all been there. You've dodged social media, avoided group chats, and maybe even warned your family to not say a word. You're finally home, ready to watch the finale of your favorite show, and then, bam, a headline, a post, a stray comment, and the biggest twist is ruined. That's exactly what happened to some very passionate fans of a certain time-traveling doctor. They'd been on a journey with Ncuti Gatwa's doctor, and like all good things, his time in the TRBIS had to come to an end. The season 15 finale was the big moment, but before many had a